Hello students, today is Thursday, April 29th, 2020 or 2020. I hope you're having a wonderful start to your day. Today we're going to talk about what your assignments are. Now as you can see, I already have my web browser open and I'm on my home page. And so I'm going to go up to the waffle. If you are not signed in, remember there is a button right here that should say sign in. Go ahead and click that and then choose your account so you can go to Google Classroom. So as I click on my waffle, I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to find Classroom, click on that. And then I'm going to choose 2019-2020 Murch. And then I have mentioned this in other videos, you can go to your stream here and go to what the morning message is to find your assignments. But I think the easiest way is to go to classwork. So click on classwork. You're going to scroll down to weekly assignments. Click on weekly assignments. And I want to show you something new I added. Usually I have you immediately click on the Murch student-friendly schedule. We are going to do that. But what I'm also going to show you is that I added something new here. And this has all of the directions for your reading, your writing, and then your response questions. So we're going to be clicking on two things. So we're going to first click on the Murch student-friendly schedule. And that's going to open up. We're going to go back to this tab for Google Classroom. And now we're going to open up those directions. Okay, so we're just going to leave it like that. We're going to go to the Murch student-friendly schedule. And we are going to scroll down to Thursday. And remember, when you open this up on Thursday, there will be a link right here. Okay, so for reading, you are going to listen to or read A Seat on the Bus. Now, there were a few of you that actually had this book during phase 1. That's okay. Go ahead and give it a listen again or read it again, and you can still follow along and do the response and the writing. So let's go ahead and click on this link. It's going to take you maybe to the login screen as it did this time for me. If you've already logged in for the day, it'll probably take you directly to the book. So click on login. I'm going to go ahead and log in as myself since we see the same screen. And remember, when this pops up, you can just click no. And here is your text for today. If you want the computer to read it to you, remember to click the auto on button, and you can click this square, this blue square with the white triangle in it to start reading. Remember to flip the pages. You can come down, and when the page flips up, that means it's ready to turn. You can also use your caret and choose the page that you're looking for. I think you can probably skip this page, and I would just recommend starting here. Now let's go to the assignments, and let's see exactly what are you doing with this book today. We're going to scroll down to day 4. All right, and it says log into Benchmark Universe, check. Assign students to read, listen, or view A Seat on the Bus, check. And then for respond, you're going to answer these questions. You can tell a stuffy, you can tell a pet, or you can tell a family member. If you want to write them down too, you're welcome to also do that. So you're going to refer to page 3 for this question. How is the event in the photograph connected to the main topic of the book? So go to page 3 and try to answer that question. Page 4, why were the people discussed in this text treated unfairly? Pages 8 through 13, you can use all of those pages to help you answer this question. How were Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Rosa Parks alike? Page 14, who finally ended the bus rule? Page 16, how did changing the unfair bus rule lead to other changes? Okay, now let's go back to our schedule and let's take a look at the writing for today. So it says, what do you think the most interesting thing in a seat? What do you think is the most interesting thing in a seat on the bus? I'm also going to go over here back to see what the writing was here just to make sure there wasn't any more directions. So I want you to note this is your opinion. So what do you think is the most interesting thing in a seat on the bus? Write your opinion and reasons for it. So when you're doing your writing, I'm going to pull out a piece of paper here and we're going to do a, maybe a sentence frame together. When you're doing your writing, I would just pull out a piece of paper. If you want to type it on the computer, you can. So you could start off by saying, I think the most, I'm going to skip a line. You don't have to do that. I'm just doing that to make it easier to read. Interesting thing in a seat on the bus. Now I'm going to go back and underline this because it's the title of the book. Is, and then I'm going to write what my reason is, or what it is, excuse me, what it is that I find interesting, and then I'm going to write because, and then write what my reason is. You also can start a new sentence instead of just writing because. It's up to you. I want you to note a couple of things. I have 2 finger spaces between my words. I didn't have enough room right here on this line, so I had to sweep down and write interesting down here. So let's read our sentence. I think the most interesting thing in a seat on the bus is blank because blank. All right. Now, friends, we're going to go to our grammar page. So I have it right here. You're probably thinking, hey, why is that cut up? Well, I used these in another video and I figured might as well keep using them and not waste paper. I'm going to go back to my assignment schedule really quick before we get started with grammar. Remember, you can click on this link. There's going to be a preview that pops up. You can open it up and then you're going to scroll down to the very last page, which looks like this. And you don't have to print it out. You can just write it on a piece of paper. So now let's go back and let's read this together. So it says, long I vowel teams and single letters. So here are all of your spelling words with 2 sight words in there. Child, find, pies, tie, again, right, country, high, sky, and why. Let's take a look at the directions. Write the spelling words that match the clue. Long I sound spelled I. What that means is that you're looking for words that have the long I sound, which most of them do, but are spelled with an I, okay? So we're gonna look up here and we're going to see if we see any words that have that. Well, I see that child has an I and find has an I. And the reason I know it's one of those 2 words or both of those words is because if I look down here, just if I glance really quickly, I notice that I don't see an ILD or an IND. So child and find are going to be my words that I put here. So I'm going to write child and find. And I would cross those off. Okay. For number 3 and 4, a long I sound that is spelled with an IGH, a long I sound that is spelled with an IE, and a long I sound that is spelled with a Y. And then for the last two, 9 and 10, you're going to write the spelling words that do not have a long I. So I'll let you find those. Okay, let's go back to our assignment schedule. Now we have a math video. You can click on this and click on the link and it'll take you to YouTube and you can rewatch this. This is a video of me explaining how to make an organized list. Now, let's look at the math worksheet. You can click on this link and we actually have it here in English and in Spanish. Click on this link, you can open this up. You don't have to print it out. You can always write it on another piece of paper. So this is what it looks like. And I have it printed out just so I can read it to you. So here we go, let's go back over here. Okay, number 1, it says Greta's list shows some ways to make 35. She forgot one way. Which numbers are missing from her list? Is it A, 1 and 20, B, 1 and 25, C, 0 and 15, D, 2 and 35. So you're going to have to look at the organized list and figure out which are the 2 numbers that are missing for tens and ones. Now, normally I do a practice one with you, but because there's only 3 problems today, I'm going to let you work on all of those. Number 2 says, which number is shown? Is it A, 29, B, 20, C, 18, D, 11? So you're going to look at the chart here and you're going to decide which number is this representing. Number 3, choose a number, make a list to solve the problem. So you get to make your own list. Fred picks a number that is greater than 40 and less than 50. He wants to show his number as tens and ones. What are all the ways Fred can make his number? All right, so you get to pick. And let's go back to the schedule. There's nothing else here for me to do today. The other thing I want you to take note of is that today we'll be meeting with groups 4, 6, and 5 at the times that are here. There is no class hangout today. Remember to go to your class hangout, you can click on the link and it'll take you straight there. It'll take a second to load. And then when you see this green button, you can click join now. All right, students, I hope you have a wonderful day.